If you're going on a cruise to Curacao, wondering what there is to do there, or maybe what's the best little hideaway beach you can get to where it's not going to be jam-packed crowded, then stay tuned because we've got that coming for you in this video. So if you're lucky enough to be on a cruise to go all the way down to the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, you're probably already starting to look into research of what there is to do. Now, while shopping seems to be one of the most prevalent things in these areas, there are other things you can do without having to spend money to shop. From the cruise port, it's a pretty easy walk, as you can see by this Google map, to Rif Fort, which is going to be the fort that has now been kind of converted into a mall eatery area if you want to shop. If you don't want to shop, you can walk right through that area, keep going down to the beautiful waterfront. From the cruise port to the waterfront, it's literally like a 14-minute walk, and that's at a pretty leisurely pace. It's all very flat. There's nothing to worry about there. It's paved, it's super easy, very accessible, even if you're gonna be having to push a wheelchair around or on a mobility scooter, this is not gonna be an issue for you. One of the cool things is to get to Waterfront, they actually have a floating bridge. Now, you may have seen this already, but I've got a video for you here. This floating bridge is gonna be how you get from the cruise port side of the island over to where you see that little Amsterdam looking area where all the beautiful painted buildings are. Now, when we did a driving tour of the island of Curacao, we were told that a long time ago, one of the presidents actually owned a painting company. And so he passed in a law that all these buildings needed to be different colors. They couldn't be the same color as their neighbor, which is why they got this unique, eclectic look downtown of all these buildings painted different colors. Curacao being part of the Netherlands Kingdom is definitely a reason for that heavy influence of that architecture that you'll see down there in that waterfront area. I'm not sure why they chose not to build another overpass style bridge like the Queen's Anne Bridge right behind it, but they did choose to build this floating bridge. Now, this floating bridge does hinge on one side, and you can actually be on the bridge while it's opening and closing, which is pretty neat. And it'll just pendulum open to one side, allowing boat traffic to pass through, and then it swings right back, and then you can continue your walk either from the Little Amsterdam area back or vice versa to that waterfront area, which is actually really beautiful. If you are wanting to go from the bridge to maybe like a local dive shop, maybe you're a diver like us. Well, Divers of the Caribbean, it's a 6-minute walk from the bridge. It's very easy. We'll put it up on the map here for you to see how close it actually is. The neat thing about Curacao is that it's surrounded by reefs all the way around. So almost any dive shop you go to is going to have a house reef. Now, when we went to Divers of the Caribbean, we didn't plan anything. We just walked in, randomly asked, hey, do you have any openings for some dives today? And we got to deal with Juan. Juan was amazing. We dove the house reef, super cheap. He even DM'd us. We gave him a tip afterwards. But I mean, we got to see eels and octopus and all sorts of schools of fish and beautiful coral right there. Literally walked out back, jumped in the water, and we were diving, which you cannot beat. So if you're wanting to scuba dive, that's a great option for you. Super close to that downtown area. You get back, you can change, and you're still right there near that downtown area. That downtown area obviously is gonna have, your touristy trinket stores, regular stores, as well as restaurants and nice areas to eat right there along the water. So a great place to do some shopping, do some sightseeing. There's also a historical church fort there that you can go see. Really close by, very easy walk. Like I said, in totality, if you walk from the cruise to the dive shop, it'd be 20 minutes, or just across the bridge to get to that waterfront area is only about 14-minute walk. Now, you can do an island tour, which we did. It was pretty neat. We drove all the way around the entire island. They showed you their big oil refineries, which is one of the things that they're known for there. I wasn't aware of that before visiting. And you got to drive over the Queen's Anne Bridge, a bunch of those other neat things, and just see other areas of the island, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure there was anything on that island tour that was like a mind-blowing stop or something that I would have to recommend you go do, but if you're just interested in seeing the entire island, that's a great way to do it. Now, best beach area. So we've gone to several beaches there, but I gotta tell you, this one is super close to cruise port, but you're gonna need a taxi ride. Okay, the taxi cost us about $15. It's called Pirates Bay. If you haven't been there, it is beautiful. Look at this pristine water. And one of the best things about Pirate Bay is there's all the amenities you're going to need right there. This beach has 2 separate restaurants. So you have your typical bar style food there, a bar restaurant where it's serving drinks and all that stuff, but you also have a pizzeria there called Tomatoes right next to it, which is kind of unique for island food on a beach. At the other end of the beach, you also have a full service scuba diving shop. Now, I know you may not be a scuba diver, and if that's not your taste, you can still get snorkeling gear there, or maybe just mask if you want to go out there and see under the water and maybe not snorkel. I mean, there's tons of stuff, floaties, flotation devices, toys. It's great. This beach is perfect. It's also very shady, which is pretty nice. There's some shady spots in the back under large canopy trees, or you can choose not to sit under a canopy tree and just soak up the sun on the beach and enjoy the beautiful scenery. Now at this beach, another cool thing is the chairs are supposedly $5 if you're gonna go grab one and set it out. They say a guy will come around and collect your money. We were there for hours. No guy ever came around. And when I asked the bartender about it, they said, don't worry. So the chairs are pretty much free, even though they say it's $5. There's no cover charge to get into this place, which is also great. When we were there, as you can see by the video, there was maybe 50 to 75 people on this whole beach. That's it. It was basically a private beach for us, which was awesome because we had 2 ships in port that day. So if you're looking for a place to go where you're gonna have a fairly private beach that's serene with food and showers and bathrooms and a dive shop, I mean, just anything you could need, this is it. Pirates Bay. This is not a sponsored video. I just felt like this place was so great, I had to tell you guys about it. The taxi ride from the cruise port to this place is only about 8 minutes. We chose to walk downtown first, ride the bridge, go see some of the sights again with our daughter since she was with us this time. And the taxi ride from there took a little bit longer because we had to go around, go over the Queens Anne Bridge. That was about a $20 ride to get there from the other side, and maybe about 15-minute drive. Either way, totally worth it. Now, if you were wanting to do that shopping, like I said, the fort is right there after you get off the cruise ship. You walk from the cruise terminal, and basically it's a 6-minute walk. You're gonna turn right, go up a little bit, and then make another right. You'll be looking down the street. You're gonna have all these sorts of shops on left and right, which you can go shopping there. And then at the end of it, you're gonna see a fort. It literally looks like a walled fort that you would expect to be some type of museum like you typically see. This is Rif Fort. However, Rif Fort has actually been converted like I mentioned earlier. So when you go inside, you'll see there's a dive shop in there too. There's eateries, there's all sorts of shops. There's tattoo shops, kind of a neat place. Kind of touristy as well though. So you're not gonna find super nice things in there, but it is another place to go shopping after you've passed the higher end stores on that street you were just walking. Like I mentioned, once you continue out of the fort and go to the bridge and you cross over there, you can also go shopping downtown. Just know you're very limited on things to do in Curacao. Scuba diving, going to a beach, those are the big things here. It is an island community. Obviously seafood's big there. And you can go to that waterfront area if you're not interested in going to another beach, you've been to enough islands, and just hang out, have that Dutch feel down there, eat some good food with some beautiful backgrounds. Hopefully this short video helped you guys on planning what you want to do when you go to Curacao. If you have any questions about Curacao, or maybe you want to tell us about your experiences, let us know in the comments down below. And please don't forget, like and subscribe, and consider watching one of our videos right here.